Howdy everybody, and welcome back to the Super Robot Wars Archives. My name is Austin. Today we're going to be continuing with our playthrough of Super Robot Wars R. Let me turn my volume down just a little bit. It's so loud. I feel like I could never balance this game audio. It feels like it's streaming or just nothing's happening. Sorry, anyway, we're going back to scenario 12. This will be our last scenario before our next route split. But before we get into that, let's talk about the changes I made during intermission. We put all of our funds into the Gundam Rose. I gave it 2 points of weapons and... Where are you? Down here. 2 points of mobility. As much energy as I could afford, and then I think 1 point of HP. I put the rest of it spread here. I'm not going to worry about HP too terribly much. If we can get over like 1 more point, I think puts us over 5,000. Yeah, once we get 1 more point, I'll be happy with HP. And then we're going to max out energy and mobility. And we're going to ignore armor just because we were going to try to want to dodge or just not see combat. I think that money can be better spent, especially when we have a couple other good units coming up. I guess as a reminder, no unit in this game gets a bonus from being maximum completed. In other games, you'll get some sort of modifier like your energy attacks cost 50% less, or you get 1.5 times ammo, or everything gets plus 30 crit. None of that exists for this game. You can't, if you max out everything, nothing happens. So we're not going to bother on stats that don't matter. We don't have enough funds to max out 12 or 14 units. What else? Parts. We actually got a ton of parts last time. I'm not going to note these anymore. I'll say it here, and then we'll just keep ignoring it. If I have battleships that have parts we're spending on people, I'm just going to refill those with the same ones. Until, I guess, I note otherwise. So, like, we spent the repair kit from the Fredan. So I'm just going to put a repair kit back on there, and just assume that that's what's going to be the case with battleships moving forward. We did not change... Oh no, we did change the Bolt Gundam. We're going to keep pretending like we want to use it as a tank for the meantime. And I gave it the hybrid armor. These are going to get taken off of him pretty soon in about 2 or 3 scenarios. But for now, we'll still act as a tank. If we had 1 more part on the Bolt Gundam, he would have been an easy shoo-in for one of our other parts that we got that we'll talk about. Oh. We can probably take these off the Mazinger now. I forgot these were still on here. I don't think there's anybody better we could use them on. Unless we have... Do we have one of the... Let's put him on the Noble Gundam. I do want to try and use the Noble Gundam. She does use energy some. There's always one thing with intermission that I never quite finished doing, it seems. Okay, so we put some parts on the Noble Gundam. I also gave her the Chubham armor because we had one left over, and I'm going to try and use her just a little bit. I don't know if she's going to be a long-term member. I think she's decent. I don't think she's incredible, but I think she's more than passable. But she does use energy attacks, so we will... Oh, this isn't... Hold on, sorry. This is not double energy. This is big magazine, so that doesn't actually matter on her. We can give her... Oh, it was... I did have the energy part, the large generator on the Mazinger. I just put the large magazine on her by accident. So okay, we've got 50 extra energy, and energy attacks cost 10% less. So we can spam a little bit more with her. We switched one of the crit parts from the Shining Gundam over to the Shuffle Badge. It gives +5 morale to start. Any of the G Gundam units could use this decently well because of their super and hyper modes, but I think Domon gets the most out of his hyper mode, so I want him to have it first. What else did we do? I know I did something else. Oh, we put the Minovsky craft onto the Aphrodite. I think this is like the most polarizing part, both for this choice and for this game. If you weren't familiar with these type of parts in Super Robot Wars, they modify your unit such that... Actually, let's just look at the actual unit we're talking about rather than something random. So they modify... Can you see my mouse? Yes, you can. Okay, excellent. They modify the unit such that it adds... They can change these... They can change these grades. So you want to have a higher grade, and because this is a Japanese game, the highest grade regularly is not A, but S. This game does not have an S grade. It only has an A grade. But if you see where my mouse is moving, we now have an A in flying, or in sky and air for the Diana, which means she now flies. So we're not going to be hampered by all those like ground problems we were concerned with before, where she had 6 or 7 move, but she was only getting to move 4 spaces because she had to walk through a tree and then a building. Typically units are more polarizing about these grades in other games. However, in this game, almost everyone has an A value, with this exception that this exception group that we're going through right here. Everyone has an A value in the places they already want to be. Like the Leopard wants to be in the ground. It's also one of the few very good water units, so it has an A. Or sorry, not water units, not yet. That's an upgrade later. I just misread my kanji. It also has an A in space. The Taurus has an A in space, and like it has 2 forms. The mobile armor form is the flying version of it. You could put something like the Minovsky Craft onto a mobile suit that transforms and just let it be good in the air also, but that feels like you're kind of diluting the value of that unit's identity. We won't hang on anything else too terribly long. Other than the G Gundam units that have a B in the air, in which case you're getting, what is it, like it's 0.15 times better in the air. Basically everybody else already kind of has what they want in terms of their terrain benefits. The Getter is maybe an exception. I think you're better served giving it armor and energy related parts. If it had 1 more slot, it would happily take the Minovsky Craft. I don't feel like the Getter 1 really needs it. And again, this sort of dilutes it a little bit. If we need to fly, we can switch to the Getter 2. But the fact that the 3 and the 1 would both benefit from having that flying part is like a little tempting. Some games, the Getter is allowed to have separate parts for each form. In this game, that is not true. It takes the parts from all 3 forms at all times. But otherwise, most of these units already sort of have what they want. We could potentially also throw it on the Fredan to get it off the ground, but I don't think that matters nearly as much as getting our healer off the ground. I think it's also defensible to put it on the Boss Borat. If you don't, unless you care about Daunt specifically, by this point we already have a better resupplier in the form of the core booster, but I still like the spirits of Boss better than I like Subaru's. So in my position, it also would make sense to put it on the Boss Borat. But I think because frequently you're going to try and sort of, you're going to end up locking your resupplier in place more and have everything come to it, it's better to give the mobility boosting item to a unit that you're going to be moving around more often. I think that makes sense. I think I explained that correctly. But let's take a look at some pilots for a second. So Sayaka, who's piloting the Diana right now, is level 20, and where is Boss? And Boss is level 17. Okay. I will make a mention of it here. I'm not going to do it in this playthrough just because I'm trying to do a more standard playthrough, and I think if you're playing this game for the first time or you're not used to this series, you probably won't be engaging with the pilot switching mechanics. But because Boss and Sayaka both come from the Mazinger universe, they can pilot all of the other Mazinger units. So frequently, if I'm using one of them, I want to use multiple of them, so I can switch them in and out of their units. When you resupply, you always hit all of the energy and all of the ammo. You never need to worry about how much you are supplying in regard to your level, unlike a repairer where you do heal scaled based on your level. So I always try to put the lowest level Mazinger pilot in the resupplier because they're going to gain more experience by healing a higher level unit because they will still heal it to max, and you will get experience that's scaled to that, but not the effect scaled to it. Does that make sense? Then I would put the second highest level pilot in the Diana, or if you by the time you have the Great Mazinger and the Venus, you could put it in either of the 2 healers. I think the Venus is better, so with context, put it in your healers that you're using. Because their amount they heal scales on level, but it's still a very easy way to get EXP. And then if you were using any of the damaging units from the Mazinger series, putting your highest level pilots in those means you're going to get the most out of the stats that they have gained. But again, for this playthrough, we're not going to actually do that. I just want to point it out here because now is a time where it theoretically could be relevant. But because we use Subaru last scenario, boss is down a couple of levels that he could have had. So it didn't actually matter. While we're jamming through all of this text, I guess we can go over what the scenario is going to look like. We have, I guess this is still a little bit of a two-parter. There's going to be a lot fewer units coming in for like the second portion. It's more bosses this time. We are going to be starting with a lot of Mazinger units. So what I was just talking about, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this now. We are like approaching the point where we have the like 5-man team we can switch things around. There's a lot of attacks. These really are visual novels sometimes. So we're starting with a Mazinger sort of filled scenario. And we have some interesting interactions with that unit that just moved close to us. It does a couple of different things. We're gonna dash and crash, evidently. It needs to happen once per video, I guess. I don't know how to prevent that. Yeah. We're also gonna have fewer. It won't be as bad as the last scenario, but we'll have a few units to select. We're definitely taking the Getter. We're taking the Excellence, Maxter, Methus, Shining, Airmaster, not Subaru, Dragon Gundam, Rose, Noble. Well, oh man, we just do not have. Right, the Aphrodite's already out. Or, not the Aphrodite, the Diana. There's no Aphrodite in this game. The Taurus is already being deployed here, because she's sort of associated with the Mazinger team a little bit in this game. Well, we're definitely taking the Rose over anything else. That's like a unit I want to train. I guess we'll drop the Methus for this scenario, because we're gonna have two healers. We get both Venus and Diana. So give me Rose. Oh right, but the boss Borat's also already out. Okay, hold on, I'm being a goof. Do we care about anything else? No. Okay, we are just gonna let the Bolt go for this scenario. Because we have access. We're being given the two Mazingers. I guess I probably didn't need to take the energy parts off the Mazinger for this scenario, but that's fine. Because we're given the two Mazingers, we just don't have space for the Bolt Gundam. As we get later into the game, we're going to have fewer force deployed units. But like, look how many units they've decided for us. We've been given 7 units we have to deploy. It's just a lot. Okay. We have a good defensive point here if we want to fall back to this. This is giving us 20. This is giving us a regen. It's what I would call a base tile in this game. This is the best version of it. There's a weaker version that gives you 20% towards hit and defense, and then 10% towards your HP and energy. But all of the like main character home base docking kind of areas always do this 30-30-20-20 situation. So we have this if we want to fall back to it. I don't think we will need it. I don't think the scenario warrants it, and everybody is so slow over here. So this unit, for instance, is going to be locked in place for a long while because it's sitting on a mountain and it does not fly. Okay, so let's talk about the Gerunicus. Okay, let me look at my notes. This unit cares about turn 3. If we destroy the Gerunicus before turn 3, it will... Oh, hold on, I need to scroll over. If we destroy this unit before turn 3, it will move next to the Great Mazinger if it's not already adjacent to it, and set the Great Mazinger's HP to 10. And then we'll get the 2 other bosses. If we get to turn 3, the Drunicus will move over to the Fortress Demonica and destroy itself. This won't do any damage to the Fortress Demonica. We won't get the money. We won't get... It doesn't drop any parts, but we won't get the money or the EXP for it. And we also will get 10 morale on both Tetsuyo and Jun. So we're like... Those are the two choices we are going to make. It does drop 3,000. It's 3,000 funds. Yeah, it's 3,000 funds. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a part, but it's also level 19. We've got a couple of units that, like, maybe could stand to want that at EXP. It's just not that hard of a unit. It doesn't really pose a ton of threat, so I don't mind killing it, and we're not going to use the Great Massacre anyway. We can also, like, we have people that can heal right now. Right, like, it only has 1,100 armor. He doesn't even have that good of a defense stat. He has no skills. He has no abilities, yeah. Usually I've just killed it and not thought about it, and I now remember why. We're gonna send our main character hard left. We have Excel now. So we just want to get her involved. And the bosses, all the enemies are gonna be spawning. Oh, right, sorry, no. It's not two bosses, it's one boss and then a lot of, like a royal guard per se around it. They're all gonna be showing up over here. So we kind of want to just get everyone, like, puffing it over to the left side. We can use an Excel on the getter also. If you've played video games enough, this game, I think, forecasts really clearly where things are going to show up, generally speaking. For instance, where are there not units that also aren't where the main characters are? Well, gosh golly, look at how much space there is up here. And if you start looking at these maps, you will see that even if you were going in fresh, you will see where enemies tend to show up just because there's nothing over there. Like, why did you give us this huge of a map if we're not gonna actually engage with it? Well, you are, just later. But again, we're like shoved down in this corner such that all of the units we've chosen to deploy really don't get to engage much at all. When you deploy units, they always deploy in the same order. I have them recorded in the documents I've got linked in the description. If you select a unit, it will always be in the same place relative to its level. So when the units get laid out, they're always placed in highest to lowest level order. It doesn't go by what order you choose to place them in. So you could theoretically figure a little bit where, like, there were 3 units that were, like, the forwardmost over here in, like, this diagonal lineabouts. So if you made it such that either the Excellence, which I believe the Excellence was, or, like, some of the Air Master or the Getter, and also gave them boosters, you probably could get them over here to engage with the Drunicus. Like, right, like, we're decently close. But there's also just no need to when you have this whole squad over here where, like, I would consider the Daitarn a pretty hard carry to begin with. So I really don't feel the need to get my units over there. But if for whatever reason you wanted to, you could do that. If all of these units were force deployed and you hadn't used them at all and they were, like, all really underleveled, then maybe. But they also just, like, give you this absolute mammoth of an attack for free. So it's not that big a deal. It is the paired attack with the massacres, but, like, again, they're all being force deployed. It's not like you can't miss having this. I have my... Oh, that's interesting. I have in my notes that it says, destroys itself on Great Mazinger, reducing its HP to 10. Huh. Maybe... I guess if the Great Mazinger isn't the one that's to destroy it, I'm going to mark that down, and I'm going to investigate that later. That's interesting. I've always done it... I guess... I used the Mazingers pretty early on while I was playing this game. I talked to... When I was first starting to like get into these games, there was someone at my local card store that had played them and had talked really highly about the Mazingers. So when I first started playing them, they were the units I used really early on. Which also means that I was not trying to like record anything about these games at that point. So when I went back to record them, I probably just didn't use the Mazinger to attack that unit. So I wonder if it destroys it. I wonder if there's 3 situations then. Situation 1 is it's destroyed by the Great Mazinger, and then it doesn't self-destruct on it, causing it damage. It's destroyed by something other than the Mazinger. It does self-destruct on the Great Mazinger, setting it to 10 HP. Or we just get to turn 3, and then it destroys itself on the Fortress Demonica, doing nothing, but saving us a fight. I think in addition to the challenges that are sort of normally associated with these style games, the like low turn clear or the speed run, I think there's also a very interesting pacifist run you could do, which is how few units could you destroy, in which case you could save yourself a unit that way because the game's destroying it, not you. Do we have... I never remember who has scan. No, we don't have anyone with scan yet. Okay, we can't take a look at these. If you know robots at all, you will recognize this unit as the Combattler, which is... No, there's a show named after that. Isn't that one of the heroes? And it is. That's like sort of part of the gimmick of this scenario, is you're supposed to be like, oh no, but I thought he was an ally. And if you know the show or you know this game, you know why that is not... You know what's happening right now, but we will get there when we get up there. I can turn it off. Gotta try and save some time. We're already... How are we already 20 minutes in? Because I could babble about this game, like, non-stop. How many kills do we have? We got 12 kills with Jabil. Okay, we are well on our way to getting that secret. And he's gonna make it easier for us. Once we actually, like, get to the spot where that flag starts checking. We probably want to give some kills to the G Gundam team just to keep getting their morale up and get that started earlier. Yeah, and we can get the main character and Wits in here deeper. Let's be responsible. Go check our hits first. 28, 31, and 63. Okay, the Haribian is the problem there. We can try and be a little further away from it. It's 33 now because we put the focus on. Okay, we moved this one down from, it was 31 to now 0. It should have been 1 if we were back in this position, but we are one space further away from it, so it loses 3 accuracy with that also. Okay, we know where the Airmaster is going. I think we probably have enough power that we can combo kill the Haribian with the 2 of them. I would rather have the kill on Fiona just to give her more morale to get access to that super attack. No reason not to move this in. It's not going to get any better anyway. What else can we do? We can get the Dragon Gundam. Yeah, the Dragon Gundam and the Getter can definitely kill this. Is this an Apollo? An Apollon? What is this called? An Apollo, I was right. An Apollo A1. I do kind of want to get the Getter just smack in the middle of this so we can start spending energy so we're not wasting our solar panel. Yeah, there we go. What is the value of those other units? That's 1600. Okay. I guess we probably were also supposed to use a Blessing or a Fortune on the Gerunicus. It was 3,000 credits. That probably would have been smart. Do we have a Spirit? Oh, boy. Okay, what's our fun situation look like? We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we will hold off. Let's see if we can't get one of, no, they're too far away. Okay. If we could get a one of the other G Gundam pilots nearby, I would feel more confident in this kill. We crit? Yeah, we crit. Okay, I think we need that. I'm pretty sure we need that crit. Yeah, that would have been less than 1,500 without it. That is still the thing that gets me about this game. I wish I was better doing the math in my head. But there's so many things to try to account for. It's also just hard to, like, do all of it in general. Right, we still want to go after the Haribiun. That's fine. Everything else has such low hit on him. If he does take a hit, we can dodge the rest of the time. And we have, you know, we're just going to flash. It's cheaper. Odds are Fiona's not going to get attacked by the rest of the enemies. She's too far away to see the rest of combat. And I think, yeah, that Haribiun is dead regardless of who it attacks between Wits or Fiona. Okay, we can start moving forward some of these pilots. Let's get our healers involved. We'll bring Noin down just to be out of the way. I am hoping we aren't going to need to use the Mazingers or the Daitarn for the rest of the scenario, but I think it would be irresponsible of me not to keep them a little close. And then we are set up to get all of these counters the way we planned. That's fine too. That's exactly what we wanted to have that attack. I guess that was the one downside of using Flash, that we were taking full hit from the counterattack. This isn't going to do a lot because he's on the mount, so he's getting plus 30% extra defense. Or extra, yeah. Yeah, it is defense, it doesn't multiply its armor, it multiplies by the, like, final adjustment. But this is the full extent of the scenario now, nothing else is showing up after this, so if we can get all this stuff cleared out, we are done. I do wish that this game had a few more different, like, scenario types. Everything is just destroy all enemies or destroy boss, which is fine. I think it's... I've been playing D in my free time. I think I've mentioned a couple of times, and those scenarios are just so much more engaging. Where I feel like I can't just sit in place and... I can't just sit in place and, like, let the game defeat itself. But then again, let's not make that same mistake. We will focus this time. And let's get someone healing Fiona before she moves. We don't have a flash up on Fa. And how much are the Gurons worth? 2,200? That is... How expensive is that compared to everybody else? The Decaitors are also good. They are worth more than the Magma Beasts that showed up around the Combattler. Okay. As long as we save 2 for the bosses, we'll be happy. So who has those blessings? George has one. I wonder if it knows. Oh, I actually don't think it's enough. I don't think we've heard that enough. Can we get one of these other Gundam pilots in? We cannot. They're too far away. We can get the Dragon Gundam involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. No. Yes. We need something defensive there. We'll flash once. That still leaves us enough for fortune later. And we only need 1, because I don't think he's going to see combat after this. That's not true. This, the Dokaider might attack him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that's good. Let's make sure she's got fortune on. She does have a fortune from the blessing. I'm also trying to say the names more. I mean, I guess so you all are familiar with them too, if you're not used to, like, reading the kanji. But also so that I can remember the names that I've translated it into. We can heal the getter before it moves out. Does Sayaka... Do I care about Sayaka more or Jun more? No, we definitely care about Sayaka more as a pilot. And we want the getter close. No, we want the getter 1 space farther left, yeah. Because now this is within 3 range of all of these, so we can use our energy-based attack for everything. Excellent. We can transform. We could go into the dive fighter and attack the Dokaider, but it's the only unit that's going to attack. You know what? Let's push it anyway. So Daitarn is tanky. If it gets a lot of attacks, then we could just block with it. But that being said, I do want the Haribian to attack the getter, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that's within range for the Haribian to attack the Daitarn instead, so maybe we don't do that. I'd rather have it counter... I'd rather have the getter counter the Haribian, so we're not going to put that in range then. Awkwardly, the Diana's probably going to be in range of this Apollo. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, the Venus is too. But if one of them is in range already, I'd rather both of them be in range, because either one can fade the damage by giving the other one the support. These movements are just so pitiful. I really can't get enough movement in this game, especially these early on scenarios. Yeah, this is exactly how we wanted this to shake out. We should check afterwards and see if Go has 50 kills or not, or if he's getting close. No, we want to spend all the energy. We're going to get it back. Open get dodge that attack for us. That's nice. He's also going to be getting to the point where he's really not going to get much experience from this. Yeah, like we're getting 1 experience from chip damage. So much for him not seeing combat, but that's fine. I did call that though. I figured how that was going to work out. Together music. I cannot tell you. There are so many veins bursting on my forehead as I try to contain myself from shouting along to the music, but it's just not going to be pretty. No one's going to enjoy that other than me. At this point, I think we can let Fiona soften this up. We only have 21 kills? Good golly, I figured it was going to be a lot higher than that. Okay. I think we're going to let Fiona soften the Dokaider. We're not in range. Oh, we are. Oh, we're just in range. That is 8. Okay, yeah. And then the Nadeshiko can put this to a kill threshold, and then the Dragon Gundam can finish that off with a fortune. What do we need to do? Okay, that's already hitting 900 damage. I think we're pretty safe to do the Dragon Claw. Yeah. Just keep him a little further away, out of combat. Yeah, excellent. That's another free 2400 for us. Giron. Oh, we are actually, we are spending a lot of our energy. We're only getting 30 back, so we're getting one of those attacks back each turn. We can go 1, 2, 3. Have the Getter kill this Haribian. I give 1800. That's more than the Magma Beast. Okay, so we do want to use it on that. We would rather use it on the, what is this? The Gratonius. We'd rather use it on the Gratonius if we can help it. So all of these little goobers are out. We've got 1, 2. How much are the Girons worth? We don't know. Girons are 2200. Okay, we'd much rather use it on the Giron if we can help it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of high priority targets for funds. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. Okay, so we're not going to use it on the Haribian. Do we... Everyone's still so low, so far away. We kind of want them to maintain this structure, because we could theoretically get Georgia here next turn with this map attack, and then we can get that settled all at the same time. Okay, then given that, we're going to attack the Giron. Because we want the Haribian to be close to dead. We can move the Aphrodite in. I guess that's true. Okay, I think we're gonna full send everyone forward. And then we can have everyone sort of like we want everyone to get bunched up in a group, because then the enemies will probably also stay like pretty well clumped. This can't be used post movement. So we're here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it does a diamond out. We might still end up being too far away. We'll see where that places us. We might be 2 turns away from a big George attack. Again, not that we really need the funds, we're already sort of killing it. So let's bring... So actually what we should have done is we should have moved the Getter back a lot farther. That's my mistake. Who else is hurt? Just the Dragon Gundam. Okay, that'll go to Fa. Bring the Fredan closer. Oh, wait, we don't have to go through each one individually. We can just check here. Oh, well, let's just get some free XP here. That's fine. Ta Wose. I think that'll do it for now. I know we could be killing these. We're going to block intentionally again to try and get that George maneuver next turn. Or 2 turns from now. Here we will attack, because we need them to get all to low HP. Once we get a Valor on George, it'll be very easy to do this. We just need to get him, like, at the front of the pack. yeah. We don't even have the... Yeah, that's too far away. We don't have the option to counter with the energy-based attack. We also don't have to go in with George immediately either. Like, we have the opportunity to... We can kill the enemies first before we even have to worry about the map attack, too. This works out fine, so we can turn the Getter into Getter 2. Yeah. We can go to Getter 2 and then fly back to the Bosporat. Like I just said, to Getter 2. We don't even need to use a Excel. Incredible. So now that we have everyone attacked and we saw how far their range is, they have a range of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't hit anything staying in place. They can also move here and attack at range 3. Those are our closest. Range 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't attack. So we're gonna take everyone just a few steps back. Right, because this is here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's okay. Again, not the most efficient in terms of time, but I do want to show the, like, potential for a large-scale map attack. We are all at full HP. We don't have any more energy restorers. We can still put the Mazinger close for next turn. I guess we do want to get out of here this direction, too. We don't want them going down. We want them going to the right. Do we have a flash on? We do have a flash on top. Okay. And if we need to, we also have a map attack, potentially, with the Nadeshiko, too. I think that is too risky of an attack as far as being prepared for a map attack goes. Come on, bring it all down. Let's get closer. Group up. We get like a small little diamond. Ooh, perfect. Yes, this is looking excellent. This is exactly the formation we wanted. We can definitely counterattack this one. We also don't need to use a support defense because we want those to go onto the battleships. Okay, we are primed. Oh, I may have discovered a flaw in our plan. We don't have enough morale still. That's a bit of a bummer. Okay, so if everyone stays still, we just need to give George a kill or two, and then this will work out fine. Feels like everything's moving like real slow now. I think these should largely stay locked in place because they have targets already. Let's get you out of here. And the Aphrodite's not close enough. We'll use the Methus. I'm going to move... Okay, we will need to use them. We'll have to use the Methus for it. I was debating trying to heal the Nadeshiko also, but I think she'll be fine. She can block if we need. The Bospor was going to restore the Mazinger and get another level. That's good. How? Okay, that's full healed. We're at 119. Okay, so we will let everyone come in, right? I guess we can. Hold on. We're gonna have the Shining Gundam hopefully get another kill. It feels like everything's moving a little slower right now on my end. I'm not sure why. Okay. We will have Friden get his, or Jamil get his obligatory kill. This gives one. Yeah, there we go. This gives one morale to all pilots, which then puts George both into super mode range, and also in range to use his map attack. I guess that is an easy way to remember. I've been acting like a fool this whole time, and It's just the range of the map attack. It's just the range of the map attack. The map attack morale requirement and the super mode morale requirement are the same. I think we can attack with the Nadeshiko here. I don't think it's gonna kill. It did like 900 damage last time. Yeah. We have the distortion field to block some of the damage for us. And then after this attack, we're gonna. No, we can take what we. It's 8. It was 877. Yeah, we can this. This will put us hopefully into map attack range. Someone's a little out of place, but that's fine. We'll still get a real big chunk in here. And if George can't finish, like I said, if George can't finish it, then Nadeshiko can do it. I prefer if George gets it. But we are just gonna block this. Yeah. Okay. Now we can finally do the thing. So let's take a look. So a lot of map attacks are the very first range you get, but you are allowed to select within George's, and then it gives you another, bubble in here. So we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies we can kill this way. We're definitely just not going to get the bosses down. Everyone did move a little bit out of place. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we move the Nadeshiko. I think this is our best collection of enemies. Okay, that's the only one. This Goron is the only one that needs to get lowered. I don't want to risk lowering the Combattler. We really want to take this down. It has a really good defense part. It has a Super Alloy Z, which is the next stage of armor. And he does retreat at 30% HP again. He's one of the retreat bosses. So let's... The Goron is going to need to go first. We want to get the Nadeshiko as far right as possible, getting her closer to all of our healers. I think everyone's just going to gang up on her. I guess it's like ganging up. What did we say? It was this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that our other pilots are not, like, standing in the middle of it, too. Domon will get 1 extra move if he goes into into hyper mode. This Galma, that's what it's called, is also just in the way of his movement, and we can just kill that. That's actually not going to be relevant for the map attack. There we go. Okay. We should also... Okay, we can't check really well. One of the other unfortunate parts of map attacks in this game are that I think all of them have a 0 to hit correction. So we could use Sayaka's instead, and then use Focus. I just don't know how much hit we actually have on these enemies. I can't see it here because we are getting full hit at plus 20%. That's the lowest we can go. And if you, like, hover over it, it doesn't show you at all. We'll take the risk. It's fine. We just need to hit the Goron still. We'll put on a Persist. I don't want to use a willpower. I'd rather save the spirit for a Valor when we're fighting one of the bosses, in case that's necessary. Okay. That's fine. We can send somebody else over to finish that up. Like the Airmaster, for instance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that out of the range? The center This is our center point, and we're going to go up 2 spaces. So we're going to go down 2 spaces. So that is out of range of the map attack. I don't mind spending a focus on that. Nope, we want the 2000 attack. Okay, what's our HP looking like? 2000, 2100. Oh, I would like to chip some of these a little more. If we have... Okay, we'll have the Daitarn chip here. That's definitely within kill range now. I feel like I've been shy too many times recently that I don't want to risk this. And then we'll have the Taurus chip this Galmus. 2, 3, 4, 5. She doesn't need to use her any of the SP restoring this turn. There, okay, yeah, now we're good. Oh, good, Valor on a support attacking unit. How useful. Let's do this now. We'll lock in. I guess we actually hold on. We should give him extra. We should give him a cheer also. Yeah, not ideal, but we'll spend it off boss. Who else had it? I should have considered that before I confirmed a turn with them. Oh, and Eureka. Okay, no matter what, we were losing a Dawn with that. That's fine. Okay, here goes. So a weird gimmick to these map attacks is that they only add morale as if you attacked one. We'll still get XP and we'll still get funds as if we attacked everybody, but we only get... and kills as if we attacked everybody. Look at that, 22,000. But we will only get morale as if we had attacked once. See, we only went up to 121. It's very silly. Okay. We have, what, 5 enemies remaining? We still have 2 of these. So we could theoretically do that again up here with these 3. And it is route, so we can kill the bosses if we want without having to worry. Like, we can kill the bosses and then finish off the rest of the enemies after that. When does the Vacant Battler retreat? At 2,940. Okay. We can probably get that this turn. Sak hasn't moved yet. Oh, we can super get that this turn because we still have the Getter to get involved. Yeah. Do we not have... Oh, we even have a fortune. Okay, no, we are so golden. We are so set. Here we can move 1, 2, 3. That's enough range. Okay, Excel, Fortune, Valor. We're not gonna do this yet, but we are lined up. We don't need to use a bullseye. We don't need to use any defensive skills because he's gonna be dead. We'll fire here. We'll get one of the Mazingers to get this lower also. It's not low enough yet for my taste. Oh, right, we're sorry, we should look at the boss too. 1400 armor is rough. Abilities. We only have sword cut. I guess the 1400 armor is coming from the Super Alloy Z. So like those parts, if they give you stats, are already being taken into account to this screen. So the armor and HP from the Super Alloy Z are already involved here. It's not like it's an extra after that. And then we don't care about attacks really at all because we're just going to kill. We don't want to be adjacent because 3600 is just so rough. That's a massive attack. That's the kind of, that's protagonist appropriation. We will persist that. We've not trained Koji enough. They are on the whole, like, they start more defensive than most other units, but there's no reason not to be safe. We have so much SP to spend. I say this in the like written document too. Like spend as much SP as you possibly can. You're gonna end up with a lot more of it than you think, and it really just goes to waste if you aren't trying to like push with it at all times. Okay. Let's take a look at the Combattler for the first time. Sheamus on the enemy side. Soon it will be on ours. What's our time looking like? 55 minutes. Good golly. And the time just flies by. Yeah, we had to reduce someone a little bit more just because of how much defense it had. Who is technically the pilot? Okay, it just stays as question marks. I don't know. I'm sure I could figure it out based on their stats, who that pilot actually is. I mean, story-wise, we also know, but I don't know if they keep the same stats or not. There's another question mark pilot on an Nadeshiko route that is just the same stats as the character who it is. And I think that's fun. We need to get the Nadeshiko all patched up. We can get the Dragon Gundam in here a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 30% chance to hit. Or get hit. That's fine. The Fortress Demonica is like the real boss of this scenario. I've not seen Mazinger like in full. I've seen like bits and pieces. Is it supposed to look like a penguin? It always reminds me of a penguin. Is that just how the GBA games have like rendered it? What's the like adjective form of penguin? Like we say like alkaline for eagle-like. Is there a penguin-like? There's gotta be. We want to block this if we... Yeah, we're going to block these because we want... I should turn animations on. Because we want to get George to get the other 3 of these generic kills with the map attack. This we can send into. I keep not doing it. I guess we never got to see the Dokaider before. They're like... I think the designs are goofy, but like parentheses good. I like these like large chunky designs. They feel very reminiscent of like a lot of Saturday morning cartoons. And like, I mean, there's literally a Saturday morning cartoon, but it feels like the quintessence of it, right? It's if you ask someone to draw Robot from kids' TV show, like this is what you might get. And I think that's perfect. Don't forget to turn it off this time. And then we're just gonna block this to be safe. Okay. Oh, George actually isn't in... We can get 2 of them. How greedy do I want to be? Now we can end this turn. We're just gonna take the 2. So let's have the Getter attack first to get him out of the way. Does Domon have a support attack yet? He does not. No one in range has a support attack. Right? 1, 2. If we're standing here, we go 1, 2, 3. Oh. Yeah, no one in range has a support attack. That's the bummer. Okay, but the Getter does have a support attack. Hold on, where's the range of this? We can't stand next to the Getter and not be in range of being hit, so do we have... We can't persist twice. Do we have other defensives? No. He doesn't have any defensive abilities. I was hoping... Okay. We can have the Mazinger. No, because no matter what, if we're attacking, we're going to spend the defensive. So we need both a flash and a persist. One to dodge the boss attack, one to dodge our own attack. Or we can just get hit. That's also acceptable. We want this to be... Actually, let's see if we can get this to be... Chibity, if we can help it. Yeah, okay. Let's turn our persist on. George won't kill him, I don't think. And then we can stand here for... I need to switch who we are on, because Go does not have a support. Yeah, okay. Guy does, though. Also, did it lose 20% accuracy when on the ground? It did. It lost a ton of accuracy. Is it just using a different attack? No, okay. So yeah, see, this is the difference between an A rank and a B rank. How much morale do we have? We've got 113. Do we have a willpower? We do have willpower. Let's give ourselves super mode. We should also check on what the HP threshold is. It's 3,780. Okay. 5,000. Okay, so we can get a little bit more. We can do a little bit more to him first. Who wants to be our candidate? I think it's going to be Wits again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's fine. Refocus. How much morale do you have? Okay, we're going to... Let's start setting up our daunts now. You take this. Actually, while we're here, before we forget, let's toss our money around, too. You take this for your map attack. We give it to the getter for the kill. We need to daunt over here. I'm hoping that this daunt does not put him within range of taking too much damage from Wits. What's our SP looking like? Okay, we can give one to Yuriko. And then we've got... We've got 2 more shots. That's not doing anything. What are our defensive skills looking like here? It's got he's got persist, but you know what? I think we'll be fine just using. We're at double damage. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, see, we were fine. Nothing to worry about. Another 16,000. Okay, the Gratonius is in range. We need the Giron to get dropped a little bit. Let's give that to Domo. Oh, maybe I've already immediately changed my mind. Domo probably should be getting kills to get us to an ace threshold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll work. Okay, we got nothing left. We're out there. That's fine if we take a hit. Where the scenario is ending this turn. Sick. Map attack here. Oh, it's the Dokaider that needs to go down. The Giron. So okay, we can. I was right in the first place. We can have Dolmen kill this Giron. Do we have any XP boosts left? We do not have any cheers left. Oh, right, because they're all the same pilots as... our Daunts, but we do have enough SP to restore one cheer. You can take that, Dalmon. And we kill this Garon. I don't think we had enough left for money, right? We could have. Okay, we traded some experience for what, 2,200 funds. Maybe not the best trade, but that's fine. Have the Great Mazinger weaken here. And we know that George's map attack was doing about 3,000 last time. Okay, so we are in range for both of these. Now we just have anyone left to get repaired and resupplied and whatnot. If we can do it on anyone other than Yuriko, that would be great, just because of how low level she is. Well, that's not much better. Okay, well, we'll move. It's something. We move Banjo in. They're the same level, but it is still better to do both of them here. Okay, what level is Wits at? Wits is 20. I think he might be our best target for resupplying. Yeah. I guess that is worth noting, that when you're factoring into for the resupply, it also cares about the amount of ammo you're restoring at the same time too. For as far as getting better experience goes. And then this shouldn't kill Chippy. Yeah, great. Oh, because he's still the Persistent. Yeah. Easy. Okay, we gotta not mash through this. We're gonna get our route split somewhere in here, and I want to make sure we go on the right one. Let me pull up. I can't do this sloppily. I need to flowchart. I want to open up my how the route split works. We can finally actually talk about how they're going to work. We don't really... The differences don't really matter for the first one because you don't really have like a lot of things you're choosing between. But let's get the screen where we have to pick them and then we can talk. I do dislike in the GBA game so far that you are auto-selected on an option rather than having the cursor off an option at all. Like it's a destructive choice. Where if I just mash through, I'm picking the top option. I would like to just get through the dialogue that I already know, ostensibly. And there's no skip button for this. Like, if I tried any button that feels like it ought to skip it, just makes you have an interim save where you'll come back in the middle of the text. There we go. Okay, great. So we have the Nadeshiko route and the Fredan route. We don't get to take all of our units to both of these. Units have already been pre-assigned to each of these routes, and if we go on that route, we will take that unit with us. In addition, because we're going on different scenarios, there are different parts and different amounts of funds happening here. If there are any secrets between those two routes, we only get to do the secrets on one of them. But if we would normally gain a unit from that route, we will gain that unit when we reunite at the end of that route. So for instance, if you had the Gundam and the Zeta Gundam, the Gundam was on this route and the Zeta Gundam was on this route, and you naturally got them over the course of the story. You didn't need to do anything extra for them, regardless of which one you picked. Once these routes met back up, you would still get to keep both the Gundam and the Zeta Gundam. So we don't need to take that into account at all. We get... Okay, so here are our differences. We get 2 units, one scenario and then 2 scenarios sooner on the Nadeshiko route. And we get an upgrade for the Excellence 2 scenarios sooner on the Fredan route. On the Fredan route, we're taking the Zeta Gundam units, the double Zeta Gundam units, Char's counterattack, Gundam X, Daitarn, Zambot, the Getter, and the Dendo units. So that's a bit of a bummer. On Nadeshiko, we get the G Gundam, the Endless Waltz, the Nadeshiko units, the Great Mazinger, the Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger. So we are sort of dividing our team in half no matter what we're doing. I think I want to take Nadeshiko because I would rather train the Gundam pilots more. I don't think the Getter needs the help as much. Also, everyone gets levels. Everyone that is on a route that you didn't take will get levels that are scaled respective to that scenario. So I believe all the route splits, except for the last one, give every pilot, it's either 1 level and then 2 for the last route split, or 2 levels and 3 for the last route split. It's recorded somewhere. It's in my item. Is it under items list? I think it might be under items list, which I know is not technically an item. I know it's in here somewhere. There was not a good place to put that because it's just so specific. Let's actually take a look at this too. If you want to follow along, you can also open up the items list. I have divided out what differences there are between each scenario in terms of like items and funds to help make that call. So, okay. So it's the exact same parts between both of the routes. That's not always going to be true, but in this case, it's literally all of the same parts. So we're not losing or gaining parts by making one choice over the other. The difference is, at base, 4,500 less money, or sorry, more money on the Nadeshiko route. That's not taking into account any blesses or fortunes. But it's 13 fewer kills. There are 33 enemy units on the Nadeshiko route, and there's 46 on the Fredan route. Man, this is a tough choice. This is a tough choice. I think I still want to go with our G Gundam units for all the reasons I said before. I think that'll be nice to like it backs us into a corner a little bit where I've got to play a little bit better. We can't just rely on the Getter to get everything done. I guess worth noting here, we get the main character regardless of which scenario we go on, though. So like that's helpful. Is there anything else to take into account here? No. I guess I shouldn't also be that spooked. We're also getting the 2 other units that I want to be part of the main team from this scenario too. So this is the right choice. Okay, excellent. That wraps things up for here. So given all that deliberation, we know we're going into a route split. The route splits generally tend to be on the easier side of things. They tend to have lower level enemies just because you are going to have half of a team. And in our case, for instance, if we've taken units, we could have chosen units that we wouldn't necessarily know are going to be divided between the route split. So maybe half of the characters you were training, you just don't have access to anymore. So these do tend to be easier. It's not as dramatic of a change too when we have the like first, second halves. And we're gonna get 2 very good units in these upcoming scenarios. I think they were what I would call a hard carry. They're in a similar vein as the Daitarn and the Zambot and the Getter. I think the Getter is still maybe technically better, but you'll see why. So look forward to that next scenario as to why I'm going to be geeking out about them the entire time. I don't think there's anything else worth noting here. I think that was a pretty straightforward scenario. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Again, happy to always chat. I think that's everything. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here, watching me stumble through this, and I will see you in the next one.